since all of our speakers are the Gen Z.
Okay, I'm sorry everyone. I think there is a technical issue. So please be patient. Thank you.
Okay, I'm so sorry, everyone. There was a there was a technical problem. Well, yes. In this episode, we are going to talk about toxic masculinity, and I think this is a very interesting topic, and I'm sure that it's going to be a very interesting discussion since all of our speakers are, I guess, Gen Z, and this kind of topic really represents us as the Gen Z. So now I'm going to introduce our speakers. So our first speaker comes from Thailand. He's Ni Hasan Waidang, and he's from Yala Rajabat University. And he is the leader of Yala Rajabat University Social Engineer Club and an influential union leader of Yala Rajabat University. And Deep South Youth through Community Building U.S. Embassy. So, Hassan, are you here?
Yes. Okay. Do you hear me?
Do you wanna? Yeah. Okay. So, do you wanna say hi to all of our participants?
Okay. Well, so Assalamualaikum and hello all of you here. So yeah, nice to meet you all today. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Hassan. So, did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yeah. สวัสดีครับ
Okay, Hassan, did I pronounce your name correctly?
What
should I call you?
Nick Hassan Wedding. Yes.
Nick Hassan. And what should I call you? Nick Hassan?
Yes, Hassan. You can call me Hassan.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice to see you, Hassan.
Nice to meet you too.
And then our next speaker comes from Malaysia. He is Mahendra Shilowaras. So Mahendra, are you here? Okay. Okay, so Mahendra is from University College of Yayasan Pahang, and he received the Deputy Vice Chancellor's Academic Award in 2021, and also UCYP Adaptive Icon in 2020. He was also the Senator of Students Representative Council, UCYP, in 2017. Mahendra, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, so please say hi to all of our participants.
All right. So hi everyone. So my name is Mahendra from University College of Yazaba. So nice to meet you all.
Okay. And Mahendran, how to pronounce your name? Like the middle one.
Just pronounce Mahendran only.
Oh, Mahendran. Okay.
Okay.
So nice to see you, Mahendran.
All right.
Okay, and our next speaker is Lou Simon from the UK and from Warwick University. She speaks 4 languages, including English, French, Spanish, and German. She is a member of Climate Reality Corps Leader Program, and she has participated at Dream International Virtual Short Program in 2021 that was held by UGM. So, Lou, did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, do you want to say hi to all of the participants?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone. I'm looking forward to the conversation that we're going to have today. I think it's going to be great.
Okay, thank you so much. Very nice to see you. Okay, and our next speaker comes from India, Nindi Joshi from Delhi University. She has worked at Concentrix for 6 months. She pursues to be a part of organization where she can utilize her skills and knowledge to be her best. So, Nidhi, did I pronounce your name correctly? Is Nidhi here? Not? Okay, continue to our next speaker. So our next speaker is Lamis Ismat. Is Lamis here? Not? Okay. And our last speaker, Tita from Indonesia. She's now studying at Islamic Institute of Kendari, and she is a leader of English Students Association of IAIN Kendari, and she is currently the delegate of Youth Ambassador of Indonesia representing Southeast Sulawesi. So Tita, please say hi to our participants.
Okay, hi everyone. Okay, I think that's for me. I hope we can enjoy this event. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Oh, see guys, we have a lot of speakers from all around the world. So please stay tuned. Okay, and now I'm going to explain some of our agendas for today. So the first agenda is the introduction with what I just did, introducing all of the speakers. And by the way, my name is Musa. I'm from IAIN Kendari, same as Tita. And yes, I'll be moderating this event. And the second agenda is student talk. Where the speakers will be given impromptu questions and they will give 30-second closing statement. And the third agenda is Q&A session, where I'll be collecting some of your questions from Zoom or from live YouTube. And our last agenda is the closing, which is there will be reflection and also photo sessions. And without further ado, let's just start our student talk. So first of all, I'll give these questions. So bro, like you are not supposed to be crazy. Be tough, man. Like this is, I guess, some of the most popular judgment from the society regarding to the toxic masculinity. And so guys, is it wrong for men to not be okay and why? So Mahendran, can you please share your opinion with us?
All right. So thank you, Mr. Moderator. All right. So the statement is quite interesting, which is, bro, you are not supposed to cry. Be a tough man. Okay. So this is which is our topic today. So which is toxic masculinity. Okay. So for my opinion, is that the statement is correct because yet we as apa tu we as a man or as a boy, so we can't give up in every single thing. So I like to conclude, or I like to take one statement which is based based on my opinion, based on my research, based on this toxic masculinity. Okay, so which is the masculinity, or the another word is masculine, which is traits that serve to foster domination, the devaluation of women, or maybe of wanton violence, which is the toxic of masculine is more to the violence, which is regarding as a man's violence, but that will have many problems that we can conclude from each statement. So based on your question, I agree with the statement that given on the slide. Right.
Okay, thank you so much, Mahendran. And now we have Nidhi. Are you here?
Yes, I'm
Oh,
here. Sorry
okay.
for
First of
joining
all,
in.
let me.
Yeah.
Can you? Do you want to introduce yourself first, Nidhi?
Yes. Hello.
Okay, please.
And namaste from India. Yes. Namaste from India. My name is Nidhi, and I'm from New Delhi. Basically, I joined late because it's heavily raining outside my house, so that's why I joined late. Sorry. And yes, and I'm from Delhi, and I'm graduate also, and currently I'm doing the job as well. And it's my first time as a speaker. I got a chance to speak uh, as a speaker. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Nidhi. And did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yes, that's correct. Maybe.
Okay, that's great. So, well, what is your opinion about this statement? So, is it wrong for men to not be okay, and why?
Okay, so what I believe is that, yeah, according to me, it's wrong because every person has a right to express their emotions, whether it's men or women. It doesn't it doesn't differentiate between the gender. What I feel. So everyone has a right to express their emotions, whether crying, anger, and any of it. So if a man cries, so what's wrong in that? Because he's also expressing his emotions. So it's totally right, according to me.
Okay, so and Nidhi, in your opinion, what's going to be happen if the man cannot, like to share his feeling or cannot be emotional? So what's going to happen?
Okay, so according to me, if a man doesn't express his emotions, so that is toxic for me. Same of like in the same case, like if women, we will say that you should be strong and women should be independent. So why not men can cry? It's just the same thing for both men and women for me. So it's okay, and I think in anyone, whether it's men and women, we don't use such harsh words. Don't cry, man up, grow up. I think it's not just the words because it can hurt someone feelings and emotions. So that is toxic according to me.
Okay, thank you so much, Nidhi. And I want to add some points that if the man cannot be able to share his feeling or yes, to react what he feels, then I think it's going to be a very yes, toxic, like what Nidhi has said. And it's going to be a very like long-term effect because maybe the man can also pass what he gets to his son or to people around him. So it's going to be very, very toxic. And Lou, what about you? What is your opinion regarding to this statement?
I agree with Nidhi that it is okay for men to not be okay and to cry because obviously they are human beings with feelings and they should be able to express them. And as you said, if we put such strong standards that doesn't allow men to feel, that's going to have negative repercussions on them, but also on the people that are around them. Because if they can express themselves, if they can't cry, they might express their feelings in different ways. For example, like channeling into anger or something, or maybe fall into depression, which is obviously terrible. And that might affect the people around them. So definitely, yeah, it is not wrong for men to not be okay, and there should definitely be maybe more support around that issue.
Okay, wow. And Lou, do you think there's any relation between certain cultures with this kind of behavior that the man supposed to be tough and cannot cry?
Maybe maybe there are like in different countries more expectations on men to be tough more than others. For example, in France it's pretty laid back. Like or at least like especially with the younger generations, I think it might be a generational issue more than a country issue at certain points. I think like the younger generations are creating safer spaces for people to express themselves in opposition to older generations.
Okay, well, I do agree with you, Lu, that it's maybe a thing with generation, because based on the article that I read, the toxic masculinity begin when the industrial revolution starts, because like the man is expected to work very hard to build like machine or something like that, and for the men who are not able to work toughly or just work in the office as an officer is considered as not a real man or something like that. So, and then that kind of perceptions pass to the next generation. Until now, we can still see it, but fortunately, I think more people realize about this problem. So, thank you, Lu, for your opinion. And next speaker, Hassan, what about you?
In my point of view, if we talk about is it wrong or not, like men to not to be okay, right? In my point of view, I think it's okay. It's okay because man is a human. Then a human, the natures of humans can be okay or can be happy or can be angry in any time when they met in some situation or stay in some environment. Yeah, I think isn't wrong for men. Even there's like men or women, it depends on like isn't wrong even with like isn't wrong for them to not to be okay or to be okay. Yes.
Okay, so having some sort of emotion is natural, human being, and regardless of the gender. Very nice
Yes.
opinion, Hassan. Thank you so much. And our next speaker, Tita. What about you? What is your opinion?
Well, is it wrong for men to not be okay? Is it not wrong for men to not be okay? Because crying, feeling helpless, it's a part of human. It's like a natural, a human biological development. So it is okay to feeling sometimes depressed, to feeling gloomy, because we are human. So it has nothing to do with the gender. Is it for men, whether it's for men or women? It's okay to feel sometimes down. Yeah, for me.
Okay, thank you so much, Tita, for giving us a new objective about this statement. And now I'll move to the next question. So for Tita, do you think crying is a woman's nature?
No, crying is the human nature, not as I said earlier. It has nothing to do with the gender. So whether it's women or men, they have right to show their emotion. They have right to crying. They have right to feel numb. They have right to show their emotion.
So Tita, in your opinion, why we see more girls or women crying than men?
Can you repeat?
Okay, so Tita, in your opinion, why nowadays, or yes, we used to see more women crying than men. So what causes or what makes it happen?
I got it. So, in my circle, because when we are children, we talk to be tough. I mean, for the men, it's tough to be to show to hide their emotion, to cut their emotions. So that's why they trying to hide it, because it's like a shameful for men to showing their emotion, and it's become the belief, it's become the stigma from my, from I think all of the world, I think when for the men.
Okay, thank you so much, Tita. And Mahendran, do you usually crying? Just asking.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay. So in your opinion, do you think crying is the woman's nature?
Okay, for my opinion, I support our speakers' opinion also from Tita. Okay, so which is the statement is, do you think crying is my human nature? For me is no, because in this world, everywhere everyone is free to cry. Because first is which is the the expression is based on our situation, and not everyone have the same situation. So for me, that for me is not uh, the statement is not correct for me lah, because in this world, which is all can cry based on their situation that going through.
Okay, so more question, Mahendran. I'm so sorry, but this has to be happen. So, Mahendran, if men cannot cry, or if men is not allowed to cry, what is going to happen in terms of the society?
All right. So if men did not allowed to cry, right? Okay, maybe the population of men can be decreased. It can be increased, which is in a part of depressed. Because most of, in my own opinion, most of men or most of boys, they will keep their emotion by their personal, which is a bit different from women or girls, because from my opinion, boys they will never give up for the first part, which is in most easy word, which is the boys can't give up easily, but the society not which is the society not give them to allow them to crying or what. Maybe the population of depressed within the boys or men will increase, which is that can affect the mental health problem.
Okay, so it's going to affect the mental health problem. Very nice objective, Mahendran. Thank you so much for sharing. And now, Lou, what about you? What is your opinion about, or what is your objective about this question?
I mean, yeah, like it kind of falls back with the previous question. I don't think crying is a woman's nature. However, I feel like there are expectations for men and women that are different, and the expectation for women are generally focused on emotions, on the nurturing aspect, and so it gives more space to crying. Also because we tend in the stereotypes to associate kind of a certain weakness with women, so crying is allowed. But if men have to be strong, crying, which is an expression of feelings, is going to be associated with weakness. So I think there's like, in that way, crying has been associated with the woman's nature, but obviously it's not the case, because as the other speaker said, we are all humans and everybody has emotions, and we need to express them in a healthy way, including for mental health reasons. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Lou. And I want to dig more from you, yeah. So based on the research that I made, so in the era of pre-industrialization, the man who cried and can show his emotion is is expected to be a great leader, especially yes, because they, for the man who is able to cry or to share his emotion, considered as the people with integrity and people who can look up to others people feelings. So what do you think about this?
So you said that men who were expressing feeling during the industrialization era were not considered as good leaders. Is that what you said?
Yeah, not. So sorry. Yeah,
No?
it is considered as a good leader for men who is able to share his feeling
Oh yeah.
or have yeah, can be able to feel some certain emotions.
Well, yeah, I think that especially nowadays, like now that we have a certain balance at certain aspects, of course, between gender roles and like other expectations. I feel like if we see someone expressing their feelings in a freer way, it's gonna make a better link between the people that work together. It's gonna allow trust. So yeah, I kind of agree with that statement, if it is the same and I understood.
Okay, thank you, Lou. And Nidhi, what about you? What is your opinion about this question? Nidhi, are you here? Okay, so Hassan, what about you? What is
Okay.
your opinion about this question?
Actually, I see with Tita that crying is the nature of human, right? Even they are like men or women, but in my opinion, as I seen, most of I think crying is the natures of some women, or just only some women or some men, right? That some of them when they have a good things in their life that they're very happy or they're very anger or they feel whatever, they usually express their emotion through crying. Then I think it's not wrong, but just only be like stress-free life of their own way. I think it's, yeah, it's good in their own way. Yeah, isn't wrong. Yeah, just something like that.
Yes, thank you, Hassan. So, it's actually normal and we cannot use it to judge other. Okay, and move to the next question. So, in your guys' opinion, what are the first words that generally come out of men's mouths when asked to think about men and women? Nidhi, oh, you are here, Nidhi. I'm so sorry. Do you mind if I go back to the last question, Nidhi? You are still mute.
Yes, actually, I'm not been able to unmute the mic. I don't know why it's happening.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. So,
Yeah, now you can hear me.
yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay,
Okay, so
okay,
um, my question is, do you think crying is the woman's nature?
okay. So, firstly, sorry for the background noise. And okay, and according to this statement, I would like to correct that it's not the women's nature. Firstly, I would like to correct it. It's the human emotion. So it's not just about the gender based, like women can cry, boys cannot cry. It's not like that. Anyone can express their emotions freely, and we all have that right. So I think I'm not agree with this statement.
Okay, thank you, Nidhi. And okay, next question. So, Nidhi, in your opinion, what are the first words that generally come out of men's mouths when asked to think about men and women? Nidhi, you are still mute.
Yes. Okay, so when we talk about both men and women, so I believe the same. It's not about the outer appearance or the personality, how you look, your facial experience, your body. It's not about that. It's all about the character. I think it's more important to be a good person from inside as well. Since I'm very close to everyone, not just I have the female friends, I have both. So what I observed is that it's not just about the way you look or how you talk. It's not about that. How you feel other person, that is more important. You should be loyal, you should be honest, you should be responsible, you should be man of your words. That is more important. it's not just about you are men or women. Whatever you are human. So you should be the character full, like you have your own character. People known you about the way you are, the person you are, not just about how you look. So it's more about that.
Okay, thank you so much, Nidhi. I feel like I'm watching Miss
Thank
Universe.
you.
Very well answered. Thank you so much.
Thank you
And
so much.
Hassan, what about you? What is your opinion about this statement?
Like, uh, I think the first word that generally come out from men's mouth, right? If we like mentions about men and women, I think it's strong and beautiful. Strong for men because the physics and like the strength of men it's make men look like very strong. Yeah. And and about women, beautiful because as I see all of women very like they have like beautiful in their own way and also like look good and yeah, something like that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Hassan. And more question, Hassan. Yes, now we are talking about men and women. This is a pretty tricky question, but if you do not want to answer, that's okay. What if you meet someone like transgender or those people who are not able to, not accept, but who are identify themselves as not their physical appearance. So what do you think about that?
Could you like repeat the questions again?
Okay, so yes, we are talking about what men think about men and women. So what do you think about other men when they see a man or woman who are not self-identify themselves as who they look like? For example, like transgender or people who dress, or the men who dress like a woman or a girl who dress like a boy. What do you think about that? What's going to be the first words that going to comes out of man's mouth?
um maybe once minutes please.
Okay, that's okay.
Maybe I guess maybe I think we can use the words of beautiful or like strong or like yeah, beautiful. Maybe everything's they are like the beautiful things in their own self on their own way. I yeah, and I think yeah, just just about it. Is it hello?
Yeah, hello, Hassan.
Okay, I answered
Yeah,
to you.
yeah, yeah.
My answer is
I get it.
answered most of your questions.
I get it. Thank you so much, Hassan. Okay, now I'll move to Lou. Lou, what is your opinion about this question?
I feel like it's a bit of a tough question because like what are the first words that generally come out of a man's mouth? When I think it's highly depends on the cultural background and like the amount of knowledge that the person asked has and like how much they are interested in the topic, because I think like Hassan said, if you don't necessarily like have a huge interest in this, you're gonna have like the stereotypical like, oh, strong and beautiful. But if you do a bit more research, like it's probably gonna change. It's gonna have like challenging opinions and such. So I feel like it's a bit of a difficult question.
Okay, thank you so much, Lou. Okay, and Tita, what about you? What is your opinion?
Well, in my culture, mostly the when generally come out in men's mouth when they ask the thing about men and women is men should be men, like men should be strong and tough, and women is sassy and weak. And yeah, that's the stereotype in my culture. But yeah, as Lo said, it can be the trait can be this is yeah. it can be healed.
Okay, thank you, Tita. And Mahendran, what about you?
All right. So in my opinion, so what first word generally come out from man's mouth? Okay. So in my opinion, like Needy say, which is some judge a man or woman based on their physical, and some will judge based on their character. So in my opinion, I will my first word that I will say, which is man or woman. So first I like to treat them from their character, not from their physical. So which is we know physical is man and woman, but the character not will be same. So each people will have a different character. So sometimes we can say, hey, you like look like friendly, you looks like shy person. So which is we can predict, we can predict our friends or our friends emotion, like yeah, like you are shy, you are pretty, you know. So that is more to character expression, which is does not just their physical part. Some like some looks like thin, some like a bit fat. So that will be the the physical type. But in my opinion, I like to treat them based on their character, like friendly or so on. So that is from my view.
Okay, thank you so much, Mahendran. And yes, I'll move to the next question. So, if the society's expectation of men in this case is so high, what kind of problem or issue may appear in the future? Lou, can you please share your objective with us?
Yes. I think that because society's expectation of men is already so high, we already have like several issues. So, for example, well, we talked about depression and mental health, which can be like repeated, as you said earlier, to other generations. So, like if you set an example, it can put a lot of pressure on younger boys, and that can be difficult for them. And separating like the gender roles so strictly, I think someone talked about it in the comments. If you separate the roles so strictly, it's going to create difficulties for people who want to break free of those stereotypes. For example, if men want to be in positions of leadership, or if men wants to be stay-at-home parents and such, it's not going to be accepted by society, and that might create tensions between them and the people around them or the people of their community. Yeah, and I think that's also like an issue of violence that can be like expressed because we put so high standards and responsibility on men, because like, oh, they must be strong, they must be leaders, they must do this and that. That can be very difficult for the people around them and for themselves. Yeah.
Okay, so Lou, I want to share something. So I came from a village, from an island, and the culture is pretty strict, where man is expected to be the one who, to make money or to feed his family. So in Western culture in general, what do you think about it, or what is going on in Western culture related to society's expectation to men?
I feel like, strangely, society expectation of men hasn't changed that much, but it's a society expectation for women that has changed. So they've kind of like not exactly become similar, but in certain aspects they have. For example, we expect everyone to be able to get a high income job and to be able to be, for example, leadership and such. So I'd say that society expectation is still very high for men in Western culture, but it has kind of like become similar to women expectation. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lou, for sharing your opinion. And Nidhi, what about you? What is your objective about this question? Sorry, Nidhi, are you here? Okay,
Yes, I'm here. I don't know what's happening with the mic.
that's okay.
Okay. Okay, so in what I believe, like if society puts pressure on men, so yeah, it will be harmful for them in near future. Like he'll get more aggressive, violent, and dominant also towards women. Some, not all men, but in some cases, we can see that also. So I think, yeah, society puts so much pressure on men, like to be a man, and their expectation to be a man is very different, like masculine, strong, and dominant. But I think it's not like that. A man can also be emotional and helpful, sweet as well. So I think if society puts too much pressure, so definitely they'll affect their mental health, depression, and violence rate, and somehow rape culture too, because men feel too much dominant. Like they can do anything with women because they're the way masculine, the word masculine somehow similar to that is strong, that they're strong than women. So I think somehow it will also promote the rape culture in our society, in what I believe. So I think that's totally wrong, and we should, instead of put pressure on them, we should educate them about how men should be, like or set good examples, good role models to them, and have give them so much freedom, like express their emotions and anything like that. So it will helpful for them.
Okay, Nidhi, and here's also one problem that can be appear if we put too much expectation to men. Like one thing about education, because men are expected to get as much money as they could, then they are expected to get as higher education as they could, and also it's kind of discrimination to women because they are not allowed to pursue higher education. I'm not sure about what happened in your country, but that's kind of problem. I can see it in my culture. So yes, what about in India, Nidhi, or in your culture?
Okay, so since so many things have been changing, so I think now my countries keep growing. So like there's so much difference if we look back then and from now. So that's a huge difference. Now women are more empowered and more educated than men also. And yeah, so I think it's not just about the education. It's not just about that. Where you came from, the basic education is from the family, where you came from. So it's not just about the schoolish and the graduation and whatever we taught from the college and university. It's not just about that. It's all about the etiquettes, the manners which we are carrying with ourselves. That is more important than that. We should respect every gender. That is the, I think, basic thing. I think it's not just about we these things we can teach in school and all. This is the basic thing. The family members, our parents, everyone. This we can teach from our family and background. So basic manners, etiquettes, respect others, respect elders, respect women as well. And I think education is important, but that is for the certificate and to get the job. But the basic education is come from your family, the background where you came from, and I think that is more important. That doesn't mean which religion you came from. Definitely no religion in the world can teach to disrespect other religion, other people, according to me, what I believe. So it's not just about the religion tag, which country you came from. It's not about that. Your education is come from what you believe about yourself, what you think about yourself. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Nidhi. Wow,
Thank
very
you.
wonderful
Thank you so much.
objective. And Mahendran, what about you? What is society's expectation to you?
All right. So society expectation of men. So for this case is okay. So what kind of problem? So I back to my point, which is it can cause a mental health problem, which is yeah, we know nowadays the mental health problem is going high. So which is so based on this topic. So the first is which can affect and may can facing some problem, which is the first is depression as a man. So which is the second is be the stress lah. So the person will be a man will be stressed if the works is overloaded and if they are did not encouraged with the good way, so it will be the problem lah. So the first problem that we can identify is depressed or stress. So 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 like one example that I can give based on my research. So maybe this is can relate with this our topic now. So which is some men might act out some of this behavior as they strive to be more masculine. So this can lead to questionable and dangerous behavior. So we must encounter back if a man lead many works or many tasks that he must do. So the community or the related person must know how to overcome back from that kind of problem. Right, so that's my view. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mahendran. And Tita, what about you?
Well, if we talk about society's expectation, it means if that's so hard, then the problem or issue that might happen is the worst case is suicide. In 2020, the case of suicide by men is three times more than the women. It's because the stigma and the society pressure that men is like it's like a shame for men to go to psychiater, to go to for mental health issue, for heal their mental health. So it shows they are weak. Then it's so dangerous for them because it can lead them to suicide. But we need to treat this from the small, because in education in school, mostly the teenager boys doing bullying. It's because they want to act, the power seeking behaviors. They want to get validate that they are strong, that they are a real man. So that's why we need to, as Nidhi said, we need to educate them that is it okay for men to show their emotion rather than they get abusive, rather they get aggressive or violence. They have to show their emotion, to cry and let it go, then discuss it with their friends or their parents. So it is really important to educate the boys from their children. Thank you.
Okay, and Hassan, what about you, Hassan? What is your opinion about this question?
About like expectations of men. So in my point of view, if society expectations of men too much, right? I think it might appear like the problem like it will be a pressure on the values of women or like bullying. Yes, and there also be like social inequality between men and women in our society, where women are like excluded from certain tasks and like so on. But I think actually even you are man or woman, we are the same. We are like equalities. Yeah, didn't like divide us. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so
Good.
much, guys, and thank you so much, Hassan. And now I'm going to read some of the questions from the chat box. So it comes from Haider. Yes. So every family has a set national about boys and girls, men and women, and often that's how children are raised. Men have to work, be tough, be manly. Society has to break the stereotype and mindset for fluidity of roles. So, guys, what do you think about this statement? Anyone wants to share his opinion? Or, Lou, do you want to give response to Haidar's statement?
Yeah, sure. I agree with that statement. I think there needs to be a break of the stereotypes and the mandate for the fluidity of the gender also, like women can be allowed to no, men can be allowed to cry and express emotions, and women can be allowed to have, for example, more access to things that are supposedly reserved for men. But I feel it's also kind of attached to the question that you asked before about transgender identity. Because if we manage to break down the stereotypes of the gender roles, we can also give more freedom to gender identity and make it easier for people who want to go from one gender to the other to express themselves. There are going to be less tensions and difficulties for them if we put already men and women on an equal footing.
Okay, thank you, Lou. And the next chat from Muhammad Haris. So in everyday life, that men should not cry or should not show their feelings or emotion because men are always required to always be strong when in fact men are also human. Men can also be sad, disappointed, and other feelings. Mahendran, what do you think about Hari's statement?
All right. Okay, so the quite interesting question. Okay, so first I like to say it's okay to not be okay. It's not within man or woman. So everyone have their own feelings and everyone have their own emotion. So it's that's not wrong if men cry or have their own feelings. Sometimes some will be get down, but from my view, uh, men can cry simply, can cry easily, but they have their emotion. Some they will down for a few days to their heal themselves to back to normal, and some have their emotion that they will overcome within the certain period. So which is uh, if the man is does not have any feelings or any uh, which is any problems, so that will be a problem. So uh, for my opinion, it's okay to be sad or have other feelings because we are human beings. So we have all of the points, which is as a human we have our uh, our feelings and our emotion to be exposed at outside there. So that's my point of view.
Okay, thank you so much, Mahendran. And we have one more question from our YouTube audience. So, how do you guys define masculinity? So, Hassan, can you please share your opinion to help answer this question?
Sorry, I can like I hear your voice and clearly.
Okay, so how do you define masculinity?
Define.
Yes, define. So how do you define masculinity?
Masculinity, right? I define masculinity that's like man, like men should be, right? I'm not sure too. Like as I know, the masculinity is about man or whatever is about man. Even like emotion or physique or everything's about man, right? Then
Okay.
I define that men can isn't like didn't need to strong all the time because man is also as I have ever said that man is also the human natures of human can be everything, can cry, can express their feeling through crying or whatever. Yes, because no one in the world will be strong all the time. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Hassan. Now we have one more question from Aswar. So for Tita, how toxic masculinity may impact personal development?
Okay, thank you. So masculinity, as we said, when we say, "Hey, come on, man up," or "Boys will be boys," that's the stereotype of toxic masculinity. So how it impact personal development? It starts from our, child upbringing. It starts from our child upbringing. So when we raise it in a toxic circle, when we get pressure to, men should be men. So when the kids want to cry, but they forced to don't cry. You need to hide your emotion. It's a shame for you to wear a pink t-shirt, or it's a shame for you to play a doll. That became the habit. That became the statement in their perspective in the child. Then he bring up, and when they grow up, they think it's wrong to wear pink, or pink t-shirt. It's wrong to, being sassy. It's wrong to uh, play with a doll. And it become like, become insecurity in their self, because uh, I cannot show my real personality. I cannot develop it because I don't want to try it, because they don't want to try it everything, because it's like a shame for them. So yeah, it really impacts their personal development, um, from their perspective and how they behave.
Okay, thank you so much, Tita. And we have one more question, and I think this is our last question for Nidhi. So, do you agree that men think use logical, or do you use their logic while women use their heart? So, if someone mentioned this statement to you, is it considered as toxic masculinity? Nidhi. Nidhi, hello. Nidhi, hello. Okay, I think Nidhi has trouble or issue with her mic. So, okay, let me. Okay, that's okay, Nidhi.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes.
okay, we can hear you
Okay,
now. So please.
yes. Okay. So, what was the question? That men think logically and women thinks from their heart. That was the question, right?
Yeah. So, do you consider that statement as toxic
Uh,
masculinity or not?
okay. I'm not fully agreeing, but I think 50-50, because, yeah, some men can think from their heart too, and women as well think logically too. So it's not just compulsory that men only think logically and women from hurt, nothing like that. And okay, and I think it's not a toxic, because logic should be important too. You cannot always just think about talk about your hurtly and not like that. You must be logically logic too. You add some logic in your whatever you are talking and all. And I think it's not toxic, it's just the human nature. Like in some situation you use some logical words, and in some situation uh, you add your hurt too, so nothing like that. And I think that's it. That was
Okay,
the full question.
yes. Okay, well
Okay,
answered. Thank you so much, Nidhi. And now, Nidhi,
thank you.
can you please give us your 30 seconds closing statement?
Okay, so I wanted to do this before when meeting gets started, but now I get the time. So firstly, I would like to thank you, Anita ma'am. I love you. Thank you so much for believing on me. Thank you so much. And I had a lot of fun. This was the first time when I was attended this meeting as a speaker. So it was a great experience for me. And thank you so much. And I love you all. Greetings and a huge namaste, dhanyavad in my language from India to all of you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Nidhi, and namaste. And
Namaste.
Lou, please give us your closing statement.
Yes, it was a very interesting discussions. I think we've had like a lot of very good points and things that one might not have thought. So it was like very, very interesting. Thank you so much for having me today. It was a great experience, and I'm so happy I have been able to participate. It was also my first time as a speaker, so that was really, really great. And yeah, thank you all. That was amazing.
Okay, thank you so much, Lou, for participating as our speaker. And Mahendran, please.
All right. So first of all, thank you for our organizer. So because inviting me as a speaker, and thank you to other speaker also because we have a good sharing session with plus we have many point of view which were from varieties of leaders. Okay, so thank you having me, and thank you also for inviting me for this session.
Okay, thank you, Mahendran. And Hassan, please give your closing statement.
Thank you, the organizers, so much that organized this very, very great like discussions or like talk show, right? Talk show about this that I think I can learn a lot from our speaker today, that get like the new idea from them and like also meet the new friends from others country. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And also, thank you all of speakers that share the ideas and like discuss in any topics. Yeah, thank you so much. I hope to see you again.
Okay, thank you so much, Hassan. Khap kun khap.
ขอบคุณครับ
And the last one, Tita. Tita, please give us your closing statement.
Thank you, Kamusa. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for coming, for joining this meeting, and also for all of the speakers. It's nice to have a great conversation with you guys from all of the country, and I really enjoy this conversation, the International Swim Talk. And I wanna say that please stop say being a man, but we need to say be a kind and being a human. I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Tita. What a closing statement. And I also want to say thank you for all of the participants. I hope all of the knowledge, all of the new insight that comes from all around the world can be implemented in our daily life and can also make this world as a better place. Thank you so much. And before we end the session, let's have a photo session. So for all of the participants, please turn on your camera and give us your best smile. Okay, I see smile from India, from Indonesia, and from Thailand. So come on, guys, please give us your best smile. Okay, how to screenshot? Oh. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, cheers. Okay, one more again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. See you next episode. No more episode actually, but see you next year, hopefully. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you.
Hi, Lo. Been a long time.
Okay,
Hi.
guys, can you please share your Instagram account. I really want to get in touch with all of you. If you don't mind, though. Lou, do you want to exchange Instagram or something?
Yeah, sure.
Mahendran. Okay.
I'd love to stay in touch with everyone. That would be great. Just need to remember what it is.
How could I find you on Instagram? And Mahendran, what about you? Do you mind if I ask your Instagram account?
Yeah,
And guys,
I already dropped the chat box.
okay, thank you. And guys, please don't forget to fill the absence form. Okay, Mahendran. Okay. Thank you, Mahendran.
All right.
And Lou. Okay, thank you so much, Lou.
Okay.
Needy. Oh, Needy is not here anymore. Okay, thank you, everyone. You guys can leave this meeting. Thank you so much for participating.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahendran.